There are games that define a console, and then there are games that define an entire genre. Castlevania Symphony of the Night didn't just leave a mark, it carved its legacy in stone. Together with Super Metroid, this game laid the foundation for what we now call the Metroidvania genre, a beautiful blend of exploration, progression, and power fantasy. But what exactly made Symphony of the Night so special? What did it do that turned it from just another Castlevania title into a gold standard? Well, that's what we're here to find out. Welcome aboard, I'm Rocket, and today we're diving fang-first into one of the most iconic action-adventure games of all time. Is it a blast or a bust? Let's find out. The game started life in 1994 as Castlevania The Bloodletting for the Sega 32X, a console add-on that barely made a ripple before disappearing into obscurity. But when the PlayStation arrived, Konami made the pivot that would change everything. Director Koji Igarashi had a bold idea. He felt traditional Castlevania, tight, linear, and punishing, was starting to feel stale. Once you beat it, that was it. No real reason to return. So, he flipped the formula. Taking cues from Zelda and Metroid, Symphony of the Night introduced a sprawling, interconnected castle. Sections of the map remained locked behind abilities, making exploration the key to progress. The longer you played, the more the castle opened up, turning backtracking into treasure hunts rather than chores. And then came the RPG mechanics: leveling, stat boosts, loot, even spells. All of it helped creating a feeling of constant growth, although I'd argue it made the game feel a bit too easy as a result. More on that later. Because it's a sequel to Rondo of Blood, Symphony of the Night continues its story and features characters from it like Maria Renard and Richter Belmont. What you may not know is that this is also a sequel to Castlevania 3, where Alucard made his debut. The moment you step into Dracula's castle, you can feel it's alive. Not literally, although kinda, but spiritually. Each room tells a story, each hallway drips with detail. You've got the creepy elegance of the long library, the towering spires of the castle keep, the swampy nastiness of the underground caverns, and the chaotic vertical hellscape of the clock tower. The place feels massive, and more importantly, it feels connected. It's like the castle itself is your main opponent, shifting, hiding secrets, daring you to conquer it. And at the center of it all is Alucard. Let's be real, Alucard is the coolest character this series ever produced. The long white hair, the regal outfit, the controlled demeanor, he's Dracula's son, but he's here to shut the whole thing down. Maria, grown up and capable. Richter, still awesome. Dracula finally has the presence to match his legend.
What is a man? A miserable little pile of secrets!
The redesigns, the subtle character tweaks, they all hit. Where older Castlevanias felt stiff, Symphony of the Night flows. Alucard glides across the screen with grace, his attacks feel swift, and his movement options, especially after you unlock transformations like Wolf, Bat, and Mist, make the castle feel like a playground of potential. Warp rooms help with travel, spells add a layer of tactical magic, and the loot? Oh man, the loot. First off, throughout your adventure you'll find life and heart maxes. Mind you, in Castlevania, hearts aren't your life. Instead, they work like mana. To use special attacks, you have to use them. There are also so many weapons of different classes: swords, knives, spears, etc. While some are just solid, some are ridiculously broken. Example, the Crusaegrim. This weapon doesn't slash, it melts. Just hold the attack button and walk through enemies like a buzzsaw. Or you can use the Shield Rod combo, pair it with the Alucard shield and you basically become an immortal blender. It's fun, it's satisfying, it's chaos, but it also breaks the difficulty in half. The game starts off challenging, but by the time you're deep into the inverted castle, you're walking god. Only bosses like Galamoth can even kind of pose a threat. Boss difficulty is also pretty inconsistent. On one hand, you have Karasuman, who's ridiculously easy. On the other, you have the Hippogriff, who doesn't have a save room anywhere near and comes after a gauntlet of enemies. Others, especially in the inverted castle, are references to past games. One of them has you fight the other three protagonists from Castlevania 3, Trevor Belmont, Sifo Balnades, and Grant Dynasty. The last two you might recognize from the Netflix series. Now, let's address the cheesy elephant in the room. The voice acting. It's iconic, not always in a good way. Yes, we all love What is a Man? But let's be honest, some of the original performances are hilariously stiff. Alucard and Dracula are decent, Maria sounds half asleep, and Richter's lines are pure ham. Still, it's part of the charm, right? Thankfully, later ports re-recorded the lines, but whether that's better or worse, that's up to you. The sound design though, stellar. Every strike, clang, and spell effect has weight. Every audio cue adds to immersion. And then there's Michiru Yamane's soundtrack. It's a masterpiece. From Baroque-inspired harpsichord pieces to gothic jazz to pure metal riffs, the OST is diverse, bold, and unforgettable. Whether it's Dracula's Castle, Crystal Teardrop, or the endlessly looping finale toccata, every track elevates the experience. Some tracks might not match their environments perfectly, but they're all so good you almost don't care. Among my favorites are Marble Gallery, Wood Carving Partita, Lost Painting, and Waltz of Pearls. There's one big issue with a particular song, however, in terms of placement in the Inverted Castle. The finale toccata plays way too often. I would have appreciated a bit more variety at that point in the game. Ah yes, the Inverted Castle. Half the fans love it, half feel it's lazy padding. I'm somewhere in between. Mechanically it's cool. It gives you new objectives and bosses, some of which are references to Castlevania 3. Symbolically, it represents Alucard turning the world of his father upside down. But in practice, it's the same castle, but flipped. Enemies are stronger, but you're way overpowered by now. Most of the challenge is gone. It could have used more variety, more surprises, more something. Symphony of the Night isn't perfect, but it's my favorite game. The difficulty balance collapses late game. The Inverted Castle is polarizing. The voice acting's aged like a block of funky cheese, but everything else absolutely shines. The gameplay is smooth and rewarding, the world design intricate and immersive, the music is next level brilliance, and the replayability is off the fucking charts. This game didn't just define a genre, it inspired a generation. So yeah, this one's easy. Symphony of the Night is a total, undeniable blast. If you haven't played it yet, it's about time you did. Thanks for watching the debut episode of Blast or Bust. If you like this review, drop a like, share it around, and subscribe for more game reviews and essays. This has been Rocket, signing out.